Good evening, and welcome to this week's episode of I'm a Statman with Stats. How are we getting on, Stats?
Very well, thank you. Very well, thank you. Here we are again. Another
pre-match
show. Looking forward to the visit of Watford tomorrow or today, depending when this goes out. And hopefully we can get that first league win of the season, Gilly, and off we go for the season.
Excellent. Here we go with the intro. There we are. So, overall, I think off the back of the main podcast, there was a strange positivity, having not won a game yet this season. That's kind of reflected in the predictions, but we'll just get straight to the stats.
Yes.
Watford in the league, we're at home. Where's your thoughts on this one?
What's my thoughts? Well, it's a strange one, really, Gilly, because I came out of the West Ham game, although I was gutted that we got beat. I was really happy with the performance. You've got to remember, it was a bit of an injury-ravaged side. I thought young Charlie Cresswell was magnificent last Saturday, and we had a bit of an injury-ravaged side. Obviously, Paddy last weekend as well. So, Luke Henning this time around, and Robin Koch. But the good news is Llorente is back fit. Rafinha is fit after coming up against West Ham. I'm positive. I think it'll come. I thought for 60 minutes against West Ham last time out, I thought we were brilliant. And I think it's fine margins if you look at the game as a whole. If Rafinha's shot in the first half goes in off the post and doesn't hit the post, if Click's shot that goes an inch wide goes in, it's a different game. And I think Leeds probably go on to take at least a point from that game. Wasn't to be, but I think the season starts here. We've got 4 big games coming up, starting with Watford tomorrow before we go down to St Mary's, Wolves at home, and then we go to Carrow Road and against Norwich City. Then I think we've got Leicester at home for the international break. So it's an opportunity now, Gilly, to really kickstart the season, and let's go and win tomorrow. I'm quietly confident we'll do the job tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't think they've had a particularly good start to their season either, have they? I mean, they're above us in the league, but in terms of the opponents that they face, we've played the Scum, we've played Liverpool, we played a decent Everton side, we played West Ham. They were all there or thereabouts last season. We've had some tough opponents, and Burnley never an easy side to play against. So it's been a tough start for us. Whereas I think was it Norwich they got their first win against, and
yes, it
even
was.
that one was a close one, I think.
Actually, they beat Aston Villa on the opening day of the season. I think they beat them at Vicarage Road, and also they beat Norwich the other week at the Carrow Road. But it presents an opportunity that Leeds, as I've said there, have got a really kind set of fixtures now. That they've had a tough start. As you say, look at Man United, will be challenging. Liverpool will be challenging. West Ham, possible top 6 side. Everton look good. So I think the only disappointments were possibly not winning at Burnley and not winning at Newcastle. But this now presents a perfect opportunity to go on a run and get the results, just to sort of edge ourselves away from the relegations. And I don't take a look at a table after 6 games. It's irrelevant unless you're Man City, Man United, Liverpool, etc. I don't really take too much notice of the league table. Let's get the season going. Let's get behind them, and let's get 3 points tomorrow.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's you can't be relegated this early on in the season. However, it's so competitive at the top of the league.
Yes,
it's easy to lose ground if that's your intent for the season. It's easy to lose ground on. I see where you're coming from on that. Unless you're Jay, who'd written us off after 4 games. The really strange thing is, and what I'm kind of struggling to cope with now, is all of a sudden he's got this crazy positivity from somewhere. He had it before the West Ham game.
Yeah, it's turned.
And
I think it's from the West Ham performance. I really do, because
honestly, it was positive before the West Ham game.
It was.
I can't fathom it out. It just doesn't seem right.
I think there has been positivity. I think the Fulham performance wasn't great, but we got through, and the kids were really good that night. I just feel the wind's coming. I really do. It's not like we're not creating chances and we're not looking to win games. I think tomorrow presents the perfect opportunity against a side who've just been promoted from the Championship, done a brilliant job under Cisco Munoz. I just think it's a chance to Leeds to go and get 3 points tomorrow and just sort of not so much ease the pressure, because I don't think there is any pressure at this stage of the season, but just to go into that international break without a win, because what you don't want to do is go 7 without a win, and then you are getting into an international break with sort of faces on the floor, which I don't think will happen tomorrow.
Now, I do slightly disagree, and the only reason I disagree with that is around the pressure is I think the longer we go without that first win, the more it builds, and I think it is building already, but equally, you've also got pundits that love to stick the boot in and really like to do that with Leeds.
Yes.
So, Sky Sports News today have been pointing out that we're just less than half the goal tally we had at this point in the last season. Now, last season we did start well. We start with that curtain raiser against Liverpool. We played really well in. We scored 3 goals, and we were unfortunate.
Yes.
And I think the penalty that went against us wouldn't have been a penalty later on in the same season. So I think we can count ourselves as unlucky there. But equally, it's different opposition. It's a different season. I don't think you can draw direct comparisons between the two, especially when the main striker and the main source of goals last season is unavailable to us at the moment. And we are playing a patched up side. So I think it's unfair, but we do experience pundits enjoying putting the boot in on Leeds. So I suppose we should be used to it by now.
That's even going back the last 25, 30 years. They've always hated Leeds. And I know before probably your time, we played West Ham United in season 89-90 at Upton Park. We won 1-0. Vinnie Jones scored the winning goal. And the London Hacks absolutely went for Leeds, despite Leeds winning the game. Leeds obviously went on to win promotions and obviously the Championship 2 years later. So it just comes part of the territory with Leeds United, unfortunately. And you've got that new age of pundits who remain nameless that like to stick the boot in every opportunity. It's part and parcel of football, unfortunately, and I'm sure Bielsa will probably use it as motivation to fire up his players. I know Patrick Bamford did last season against Aston Villa when he got a hat-trick at Villa Park. So I'm not worried what certain pundits say. That's the job. They're paid to sort of get clicks and what have you. But yeah, it doesn't really bother me, and I think the players will go out and do the job tomorrow.
So I don't think we'll see any lineup until just before the game now, do I? I know last season and quite a lot before. Sorry, no, not even last season. The seasons previous, Bielsa was upfront about his team days before it. But we do have some players returning, so we think we'll have Llorente, as you say. We think we've got Rafinha.
Yeah.
There's no Patrick. I think that's confirmed.
Yeah, I think.
And I don't think there's an Ayling.
Ayling is having an operation, he's having surgery.
Yeah.
I don't know how long that'll take. I think we asked in the group, didn't we, that it could take, 5 to 6 weeks. Who knows? I know he's had some terrible injuries at Leeds. While he's been at Ellen Road, I know he was out for half a season back in 2017-18. So hopefully it's not so bad, that one. But we've got choices in defence. Obviously, as you say, you've got Llorente coming back, Strikes coming back from suspension. So you've got choices there all of a sudden. I think it's key having Llorente back as well. That's something against Charlie Cresswell, who was absolutely magnificent last Saturday. But it's just nice to have the options there to have the players coming back in to the fray for the game against Watford.
Yeah, 100%. I also think that Shaq played really well. In fact, didn't he make the most successful passes in the game?
He did indeed. Thanks to LFC data for that one, Chris.
Was it 100% accuracy?
I think so, yeah. I think he was brilliant going up and down the right-hand side. And the interesting with Shackleton is, I still don't know what his best position is, because some people say play him in the centre of the park. Some people sort of say play him on a right back, but I thought he had a really, really good game there. And it does show, Phil, he's injured. You've got options there, whether it be Jamie Shackleton or Stuart Dallas. And it'll be very interesting to see what Bielsa does tomorrow's lineup at 2 p.m.
Well, yeah, so if we just touch on that. So Melee is going to play, if he's fit, he plays. I think the same's probably true of Firpo at the moment. There's not much competition for him, especially when the only competition for him we need elsewhere at the moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Who do we see in the centre-back positions?
I think it'll be Diego Llorente and Liam Cooper. Just looking at the videos, I know Legion like to put the sort of pre-match videos out. They're the two that have been bouncing up and down on the sort of little trampolines and heading balls. That one surprised me. Again, I feel a bit sorry for Cressy, but each time will come properly. As I said, I thought it was brilliant last time out. I've also got an under-21 call up today as well. But I would guess it would be Llorente and Coops. And I've got a couple of stats obviously to come to when we get into the stats bit with Liam Cooper. And then after that, I'd imagine it'll be KP protecting the back four as well. The interesting one is, does Jack Harrison start for Dan James? Now, Dan James obviously was substituted at half-time in the defeat against West Ham last time out. Will he start for him? Possibly not. Then I think you've got Matthias Klick in there and Rafinha, and then you've got sort of the 10 and up front. So interesting choices tomorrow. Rodrigo also start up front, and we'll see what's what after that. Really, I'm guessing Klick will keep his place as well. I thought Klick had a really good game last week.
Yeah, I did as well. I thought, we've had a bit of an issue with Dallas, haven't we? I know that there was an issue that meant that he didn't meet up during the international break. So I don't think any of us know what that is. It was just personal reasons, and do you know what? If it's personal, I hope it stays that way. Fair enough.
Correct.
Whether that's affecting his performances or not is we don't know. What we can see is he's not quite at the level that we've come to expect from him and his own capability level that we've seen from him.
I think the issue with that is that he sets such high standards. He was magnificent last season, won all the awards, and sometimes it can be difficult to replicate that as a player, but he's been unbelievable. I think we can allow, if he does have the odd off game here or there, we can allow him that. He's been brilliant.
Absolutely.
Over the last couple of seasons at Stuttgart and been a massive mainstay of the squad, and obviously he's closing on 250 appearances for Leeds United, coming on 236 for the Whites at the moment. So he's currently closing on 250, which would be an unbelievable achievement for him. He's only 4 or 5 off Chris Fairclough. Again, I'll come to that stats in that bit. But he's got choices there. I think the big one, obviously, with Dan James and Jack Harrison, who starts there. Rafinha was absolutely unplayable for an hour.
He was.
Against West Ham last time out, Gilly. I think he pointed to the bench, didn't he? Saying his race was run, which is fair enough. So, and I think Rodrigo had a really good game again against West Ham. I thought he caused some problems. I think he just needs that goal, doesn't he, to settle him down, to get him going as well. So, the
only thing with Rodrigo for me is we're used to somebody actually playing a 9, and he plays a false 9. Yes. And his movement's very clever, and he pulls the defenders around and so on. But our side is set up for somebody to be in that position. That when the wingers get to the byline and they're looking for cutbacks and so on, they're looking for a 9 to be in a 9's position. Often he's not there, and I think they just need to. The elite footballers are playing in the Premier League. It's the strongest league in the world. They need to be capable of. I know that it's Rodrigo. I know that he's not Bamford, and be able to cope with that. And I think that's what we're looking for. And he's not played there much, so there's some adjustment, of course. But hopefully that'll be quick. I personally think if all of the wingers are fit, I think it's Jackie and Raf that start.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I also think that it'll be Klick and Dallas in the middle, and we just hope that we see Dallas getting back to the as we said, the standards he'd set. I think it will be Shaq at right back. I think we just missed that one out. I think he had a really good game, and he stamped his authority somewhat. And I think that against a side like that, to come in actually, quite cold. He's not played many minutes. I thought he did really well. So I think we pretty much thrashed out what we expect the side to be, barring any issues in between or that we're not aware of. I think we're probably there or thereabouts on the side.
I think that squad that team is good enough to go and get results tomorrow. Absolutely certain.
Oh yeah, I'm confident on my 4-1.
I hope you're right.
So on to one of my favourite bits is we get you to show off here. I'm going to mention a name. So this is the played for both bit, and I'm going to mention a name here that I know that Adam's going to really appreciate, because I know that he's a massive fan of Lee Bromby.
Yes, that's a great shout. A lot of people forget that before he joined Leeds in the summer of transfer deadline in 2009, he actually had a spell at Vicarage Road, because he went from Sheffield United to Watford. So
didn't he play for Sheffield United either side of them, and then we picked him up from there?
And amazingly, one of the few players that's played for both Sheffield United, has played for Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, and Leeds United. There's a stat for you as well.
Excellent. So, I know that Adam's really going to appreciate that. I'm going to point it out in the group chat afterwards, just to make sure that he really gets the full appreciation of that one, because I know that he's a big fan of his. But go on,
Yes.
they played for both. Who else we got?
There's a few here. Obviously, I like to do my research. I like to come prepared. There's some real blasts from the past.
Hey, you don't know all of this off the top of your head,
Of course I do. I got to come prepared. We'll start off with Marlon King, who had a loan spell at Ellen Road and unfortunately was part of the Watford side that defeated Leeds in the playoff final.
It was so frustrating, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It was so frustrating because every side he played for, he played up front and scored loads of goals, and we insisted on playing him as a winger.
We did. And I think that was Kevin Blackwell as well, that he liked to... he played like David Healy on the wing as well when he's an out-and-out striker.
Yeah.
So it was just something that happened. It could have been a good signing for Leeds, Marlon King, but obviously worked out Watford, went to Watford from Gillingham and got the goals. Only got the goals at Vicarage Road that fired Watford into the Premier League in 2005-06. We won't try and mention the final at Cardiff. That was a horrible, horrible day.
It was.
We'll then move on to a striker that Neil Warnock bought in on loan towards the back end of the 2011-2012 season. Scored one goal for Leeds. Again, had a very good career at Watford. Danny Webber.
Oh, yeah. Also a scummer.
Yes, big Man United, big Man United fan. He's Danny Webber. So yes, we'll leave that one there. Another one that was a part of the Watford side of the 80s that Graham Taylor built and had I would say a successful spell at Leeds, late 80s, early 90s. John McClelland.
Of course.
Tour guide around Ellen Road for a wee while. I think Brendan Ormsby was as well. Brendan was celebrated his birthday today, 57 years old. So there's
Happy
one.
Birthday.
We've got another 10 to get through. Matthew Spring, who I actually thought when Blackwell signed him in the summer of 2004 be a really decent signing for Leeds United. Injury prone, unfortunately. Sold at the start of the 2005-06 season, and again had a hand in Watford winning promotion. I don't think he played in the playoff final, if memory serves me right, but very, very good signing for Watford. I think he's been at Leyton Orient as well. Another one that, this player, what can I say about this player? Terry Venables bought him in I think August, and then they didn't play till November, December time. Did come, I think, played at Watford as well as Lazio. Paul Ocon would always pass the ball bloody backwards, pardon my French. And it's so frustrating to watch with Paul Ocon. But yeah, Australian international as well. I actually played in the game at Upton Park when Australia beat England 3-1 when another Australian Legion player who won't be named for various reasons went round. I think Paul was in the England goal and score for Australia. But there you go. Another defender that again had a big part to play for help Watford win promotion. Has battled his demons over time. Thankfully, in a very good, healthy position. Clark Carlisle.
Yeah, Superman.
Scored in a draw against Watford in 2004-05. Actually, one of the brainiest footballers. I think he won Countdown. Clark Carlisle. I think he also won footballers, brainiest football, or something of those lines in the early 2000s. We'll then go on to a player I've mentioned, but a different position. Paul Robinson, defender, who was part of the Watford side that won promotion in 98-99, beating Bolton at Wembley, and then he had a brief loan spell at Ellen Road under Neil Warnock. We've also mentioned Lee Bromby, a striker who again had a brief spell at the back of the 2005-06 season. I scored plenty of goals at Vicarage Road for Watford. Danny Graham, I think we bought him from Middlesbrough.
He'd playing against him.
Yeah, never really worked out for him, unfortunately. We then go on to a loan signing in the 2003-04 season, who I thought came with good pedigree from Arsenal. I think he had a loan spell again at Watford. Jermaine Pennant.
Yeah, decent for us.
The top players also got a lovely goal against Chelsea in the 2003-04 campaign. Obviously, relegation went back to Arsenal and they ended up at Birmingham. Now, here's a name, a blast from the past, a signing that Steve Evans made in the 2015 season, and then kind of was frozen out the following year under Gary Monk. Big Dave Tumani Diagaraga. Both Leeds and Watford. I thought it was a decent signing at first. I think he scored against Bolton on his first start. I think he scored against Reading, but again, once Gary Monk came in, he had his own ideas, and that was the end of Diagaraga at Leeds. Another one, a defender who, what can I say, crazy defender in the 08-09 season. Comes from a big footballing family. Sam Sodje. I think came from Brentford on loan in the 08-09 campaign. Scored a crazy own goal against Chatmere Rovers in a game Leeds won 3-1. And yeah, I had a very brief loan spell.
For a short time, when you say about family, it seemed like if you were watching a game on telly, there was a Sodje in it for a while.
Yeah. There's Akbro Sodje, there's FO Sodje, also there's Sam Sodje, there's also Bright Sodje, who actually played rugby league for Hull KR and Hull Sheffield Eagles. So big family, the Sodjes. Another player, a captain of Leeds United. I think I'm trying to think who made him captain. I think it might even been Gary Monk made him captain. Liam Bridcutt had a spell at both Leeds and Watford. I think he had a decent spell at Leeds when Gary came into the club. That was the beginning of Leeds getting a bit of an upward curve. And the last one that I've got had a loan spell at Ellen Road in the 2008-9 season. I think someone that Simon Grayson bought in. He was the only player to clap the fans in a horrible defeat at Hereford in 2008-9 with a number 3 shirt at Vicarage Road, Carl Dickinson. So there you go. That is 14 players that played for both Leeds and Watford.
One more?
Go on.
Danny Rose went on loan to Watford from Spurs.
He did, but Danny Rose never played a first-team game for Leeds.
Didn't play for us, did he? Yeah.
And you could also say Scott Loach went on trial for Leeds when in the summer of 2007, 2008, when lots of Leeds couldn't sign any players because they're under $1 million embargoes. Scott Loach went on as a trialist for Leeds United, played in a couple of games in Germany for Dennis Wise, and obviously played a pivotal part for Watford. So yes, that's. I mentioned Rose.
Is he? Where is Rose now? Do you know?
Oh God, I think he's abroad somewhere. I could guess that because he didn't play. He never played for Leeds. He made one unused sub appearance for Leeds United against Chester City in the League Cup with Johnny Howson, and obviously Johnny Howson went on to make a career at Leeds. Danny Rose went to Chelsea. He's currently. I don't think he's
Watford.
Well, he's still at Watford, so he is. So
we might see him tomorrow.
We might do.
You never know.
I think my fire alarm's going off and I can't see a fire. We'll carry on.
If you smell fire, just go. Don't wait.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, we'll get straight into the bit that everybody craves. Then let's be wowed with some stats.
Yes. Right. We've got 100% record against Watford in the Premier League. We've won 2-1 at Vicarage Road in October 1999 and beat Watford 3-1 at Ellen Road in May 2000. We're actually playing Watford. We played them on the 1st of October in 2005, 0-0. We played them on the 3rd of October in 1999, 1-2-1. And we beat we're playing Watford tomorrow on October the 2nd. We've never gone 7 games without winning at the start of the season. The foul alarm has now gone off. I think it was next door, so panic over. It's the 180th game for Captain Cooper as captain for Leeds United. He will make his 231st appearance tomorrow, all being well. Amazingly, when we last played Watford at Ellen Road in the league, when we lost 3-2, Rudy Austin scored an absolute blinder. Liam Cooper was captain. So that shows you the longevity.
Wow.
The longevity of the player. Calvin Phillips will move on to 219 games tomorrow, level with the great Jim Milburn, who was a nephew of Jack Charlton. And there'll be 2 behind Luciano Becchio, who's on 221. And Stuart Dallas will move on to 237, 4 behind the great Chris Fairclough, who, of course, won the league title with Leeds United in 91, 1992. So plenty to go on. As I say, the main 2 to take out of that, we've never lost a top flight game against Watford. We've only played 2 and won 2. And we've never gone 7 without a win at the start of a new season. So fingers crossed it continues tomorrow that we have 3 out of 3 against Watford in the top flight.
And is this, if you count the cup result as a draw, because it went to full time as a draw?
Yes.
What's the longest Bielsa's Leeds have gone without?
This.
Is that this?
Yeah. There. I know we beat Crewe in the cup, but certainly in the league, he's never gone 6 without winning the league. Obviously, you don't want to be creating more unwanted records. So
no, absolutely not. Just reflective of that. We've got most of the predictions in. I've got a couple to come in.
Yes,
we've had one person go for a draw. And that's Jason, aka Rex.
Right.
Every single other person has gone for Leeds, and most have gone big. I'll be fair, most have gone big. I've gone 4-1. Jay, the ever positive for the past 2 games, Jay, has gone 3-0. I know you've gone 3-0 separately, haven't you? But you've gone 2-1 on this one.
And I've gone 2-0 for this one, so I'm confident tomorrow. Look, we might be able to all end up beating our words. Look at Rex; I think he's top of the league at the moment, and I think he's probably
he's second. Unfortunately, Adam is winning, and this is something that we just can't keep going.
No, I can't. Is there a prize at the end of it?
So last season, what we were playing for. So we've not defined it for this season, but last season what we were playing for was to define who our charity partner was going to be for this season. And he's still not done it yet. You've just reminded me. So I need to speak to Bren because he won the league. And we'd said that we were going to be raising some money, doing some daft things. You know, we did the 3 peaks over the summer and so on. That's all done and dusted pre-season. But during the season, when we're doing some fundraisers, we said that we'd pick a charity to work with each season. So I need to get in his ear oil and get a charity out of him. So well reminded, Stats.
There you go. And any charity events, I'd love to be involved. Anything you like to do, I'd love to do the 3 peaks one day. I don't think I'm quite in fine fettle to do it. I'm probably not the best time to do it, but hopefully in the new year I'll be up to doing any charity events if possible.
Cool. Yeah, we'd spoken about doing a mural walk. Now that's getting more difficult the longer we leave it because there's more and more popping up. But absolutely. I mean, they look amazing. I love it. I think it's great. Phenomenal. Yeah, we talked about doing that. Although I don't think we'll do the Bielsa one out at Menston because it's about 15 miles just to see the side of somebody's shed. So we might give that one a miss.
Yes.
And it's not technically Leeds.
No.
So yeah, I think. Although people in Menston won't like this, I think it might be Bradford.
I think it's a Bradford. Is it Bradford postcode, Menston?
I think it might be, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we talked about doing a mural walk. Just the other thing I want to remind people of, I think today is the very last day to participate in the competition that we've got running, which is a signed Phil Hay book, and it was beautiful. And hot on the heels of that, there will be another competition out almost straight away. So everybody keep your eyes peeled for that.
And on that note, I'm getting the book signed tomorrow by Mr. Hay. I've spoken to him this evening. I've dropped him a text, and he's got his pen ready to sign the book for tomorrow for the winner. Beautiful. Thanks very much, Stats, for that, and thanks very much to Phil as well. It's nice to run the competitions, and there'll be another one hot on its heels. So yeah, watch this space. And unless there's any closing comments from yourself, Stats, I think we're all done. Just a quick one from me. I'll be down at Taddy again on Sunday for the women. Disappointing on Tuesday night to lose to Bradford, but they're still in second place, very much hot on the heels of the Liverpool Feds. So hopefully they can return to winning ways on Sunday in a Roses battle against FC United Manchester. Super. Go on the Leeds. All right, thanks very much. Let's hope for a big win against Watford and a win on Sunday as well. And there we go. Thank you very much. See you all soon. See you soon. Top work.